What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So I have another pretty interesting conversation today. We're gonna jump in. This is Brandon. Brandon, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today with you, Austin. Thank you for having me.
Dude, of course. I feel like what I'm trying to do with these YouTube conversations, you've seen them with Jace. I have one coming out with Barrett, who I've done with Ryan, with Lindsay, with Alex, Gwendolyn. I'm just trying to highlight the success in our group because I think that nothing speaks louder about what we do other than having real people saying that it works in reality today. So I want to
Yeah.
jump into, all the success that you have found with the ASFX systems and with our community so far. But before we get into all of that, can you maybe set the stage for us a little bit, kind of backtrack to where, how'd you get into trading? Where was it Forex first and how long ago was that?
Oh, actually, I started thinking about business when I was 15 years old because I was thinking, well, I've always liked the thought of money, right? Not really like physical money. I mean, I like holding it, right? But like what you can do with it, right? So
Of course.
I was around 14, 15 years old. I would see all these people with big houses, and I would always ask, "What do you do?" And they're like, "I'm a business owner." So I was like, damn, okay. I started getting into business. I started listening to a lot of like entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And then I read my first book around 15 years old, 16. It was
What
Rich
book was
Dad
it?
Poor Dad by
Mm,
Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. That's when he introduced to me the difference between assets and liabilities. I didn't know what that was, and it taught to me how the rich own assets and the poor own liabilities, right? And so I started looking into this, and it showed me the cash flow quadrant and how you have the
of
self-employed,
course.
the employee, the
Yep.
entrepreneur, right? And
Yep.
I was like, I want to do business, but I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't want to trade time for money. I want to trade money for money. So that's when I started
Mm,
looking into it. First, it was e-commerce, drop shipping, Amazon FBA. Then I started getting into stocks. I was like, no, this is not it. Then I found out about forex trading, and like I would see all these profits that all these fake Instagram gurus post, and I was
the
all excited about this.
Lambos.
So I
Yep.
went
Yep.
all in. Yeah. Yeah, and I went all in. I started with baby pips first, which is obviously right. That's where a lot of people start. So that's when I started getting into the forex trading industry, and then I bought like probably like quite multiple courses, and I started being consistent, but not the way I wanted to. I still wasn't uh like there was a like the courses that I bought, they never touched based on like how to treat this as real business, proper risk management,
Sure.
and how to work with taxes and all that stuff. It wasn't until I found your course, which is ASFX, that it really touched base on all this. And like I was already starting to win in the markets, but once I met you, it like opened my mind. It expanded my whole mindset on like how to treat this like a real business, have proper risk management, and what times to trade. Because before, like I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really focus that much on the time, and that has a like that really changed my winning streak like by a whole lot. And right now, like I'm
Of
way
course.
more consistently profitable than what I was before.
I have a funny question for you. Out of everything that you've,
Yeah.
taken in as new information with us and with our group, what's the first quote or first thing that stands out to you as like that's ASFX? First thing that comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind, like the first quote.
First quote, first anything that comes to mind when you think of ASFX. What has being with us taught you? I'm just interested to know.
So being with us taught me like how to work as a team, basically. Because I would be in other group chats, and like they would all have different biases on the market. Some would say
Mm,
sell, some would say buy. Now, once I joined this group chat, I saw everyone would be professional. It's like a family. And so like everyone pretty much had the same bias because it's a such a great systematical approach that everyone has the same bias in the market, and people don't have different biases where, oh no, some say sell, some say buy, and you're over here all confused and you don't know who to listen
right,
to. And over
right.
here you
Very
have
true.
all these yeah, over here you have all these 6 plus 7 figure traders inside your group, and you're like, and you learn from them. And not only that,
Right.
but you like I learned from you. Like you set the standard. You wake up at 4 a.m. You practice what
Thank you,
you
bro.
preach, and that really helped me a lot, man. That really helped me like gain more motivation and have like set my own schedule to be waking up at 4 a.m. and be busy all day, being
Well, I
productive.
could just tell you what to do, but if I didn't do it as well, it would never be as impactful. You know what I mean? I have to live by that. And that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. You can ask Riley. Like, it bothers me
Yeah.
so much when people say they want something and they talk that they want something, but their actions don't match their words. It's like my biggest pet peeve, I think. So for me, it's like if I say something and I can prove to myself or to you or to whoever that it's successful, then we know it works, then I say it, then I got to be by it. So I think, and that's also just a product of like loving the process of what we do as well. But I think it's interesting that you point not to the entry signal, not to anything else in our group. The first thing that you think about is teamwork. And if you remember, you've probably seen, I've
Yeah.
talked about it in a couple of videos about how important having that team around you is if you're going to be successful in the long term. And I feel like there is so many questions I have for you about your other groups, but now here with ASFX, do you find that like the main difference, do you think, is that everybody has gone through the same course, the same education, and that's why the group itself functions so well because everybody has to take the courses before they get in? Do you agree with me that that's what it is?
Yes. Yes, it is a big difference. 'Cause I noticed in other group chats, like they would already put their Discord chat and everything, and people would like already like beginners and stuff. They would be mixing up other beginners.
Right.
Where in Discord, it's like you already have the beginner scores, the advanced scores, and it's not until you get to the very bottom that you get to the chat where people already know what you're talking about. You know,
Right. Right. And I feel
so
like
that really
that was
plays
kind
a
of my
big role.
intent with exactly, exactly. So now with the other groups that you were with, um, what did you not like other than the fact that everybody kind of had their own biases and everybody, you weren't sure who was the beginners, who was the advanced? Was there anything that you would like if somebody listening is in a different group and they're not sure if it's for them? How did you know maybe when the group you were like, yo, this is not for me, I need to get out of here?
Basically the vibes, in your group you have all these positive vibes, people lifting each other up. In all these groups you have people turning each other off, saying bad words and stuff like that, and I
Sure,
didn't like
sure,
that. So I wouldn't really pay
sure.
attention to the group, and they had all these different biases, and people were like, you're dumb, you're stupid, and like I
Were they
just didn't
really
like that,
saying that to each other? They would really like curse each other and tell each other off like, oh, you're fucking
yeah,
stupid kind of
yeah,
thing? Interesting,
there's like
right?
a lot of negativity in these group chats. Yeah.
It's interesting because I feel like that projects itself then into your trading. You know what I mean? Who could be that negative outwardly and who cares about being right that much? I don't know many traders, if any, that care so much about being right that they'll be negative to other human beings when in reality, like being right doesn't mean you're even making money. So I don't know. I think that's a lot of ego. And we do a lot of, like, you spoke to Riley. She and I had a conversation this morning about your conversation with her a few months ago. She has really
Yeah.
helped a lot of the traders, including both of us, I think, kind of get rid of the ego. And that's probably another factor of our
Yeah.
group that makes us unique as well. There's little ego in it. And it probably is because we have a lot of females. Like look at Lindsay, look at Gwendolyn, look at
Yeah.
Katie, the other girls in our group that like bring that feminine energy in to kind of squash the masculine bullshit that sometimes gets in the way of trading and you just want to be right. And I'm sure you've been in those situations where like you want to be right so bad you'll jump back in to a trade even if it's not an entry signal. You know what I mean? You have to go through that pain almost to then learn
Yeah.
how to act. Tell me about the system you were trading before you found ASFX. Like what was the main difference with us? Was it risk management? Was it the entry? Was it the exit? What stood out different to you that really made it stick?
So it was basically pretty much everything you named out. Pretty much the risk management. A lot of traders didn't really, they touched base upon it, but they didn't really go deep into it like you did. They didn't go deep into the taxes. Like I've always like I asked questions about that. No one really answered me because I really want
Nobody
to know
knows,
about
bro.
more like how to treat this as a business.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what? That I think the reason is because
yeah,
not a
and
lot of
pretty
people are
much
actually making money trading. You know what I mean? They aren't making money from trading, so they
yeah,
don't know how to
yeah.
pay taxes as a trader.
Yeah, which is like I said in the very beginning of our call, like I said, I saw these fake profits and stuff like that. It wasn't until
Of
I really
course.
got deep into it that you see all these fake Instagram gurus. And
Right.
so I had to go through that phase where I had to find what works, what doesn't work. And well, your system is really great. You have like specific rules, a systematical approach to the markets, and not really, and any other trader hasn't. You're the first trader that I see use black candles and make it as simple as possible.
Everybody else wants to overcomplicate it. I actually heard, and I think the other piece of it is like risk management. Like you always have heard me say, you can't take a trade unless you know what you're putting at risk. There's other guys that are
Yeah,
on Instagram. When you ask them, like, yo, so and so, explain to me your risk management strategy, they will literally say to your face, I don't believe in risk. That's what they'll say to you, that they don't believe
yeah,
in risk. Like,
yeah,
what kind of investor, what kind of trader would ever say that? You know what I mean? That's just not,
yeah,
you're just not a trader at that point. You're an Instagram marketer.
yeah,
And you get, and like, but again, we can't talk too much crap on that side of the business because that sucked us in. That
yeah,
showed us what Forex was. That gave us the opportunity to have
yeah,
this conversation today. You know what I mean? Now, I want to also ask you
yeah.
about FTMO because I know you're involved with them. People are very up in the air. There's both sides of that. Can you share some of your experience with them? Would you recommend them to new traders?
Oh yes, I would. First of all, because me as I was beginning, I didn't have the capital, right? My first trading account was $60. I obviously blew it. The reason I blew it was because I was trying to get rich quick. I was trying to make a crazy account flip, and it wasn't until I blew probably like over 5 trading accounts. But I was smart about it. Each trading account was like $100 to $500. My biggest trading account was $1,000. So I didn't. You can say I didn't really lose as much money. And then I started saving up a lot more money. Then I found your system, and I started being more consistently profitable. So I'm trading on the side, and then now I'm doing this challenge called FTMO, which
Hmm.
they fund good profitable traders, and they have multiple challenges. One is for ten
There's like different
thousand,
tiers
another
to
one's
it,
for
right? Yeah,
yeah,
and you have to pay to get
yeah.
into it, right? You have to
One's
like, put up money to get into the
yeah,
certain
yeah,
challenge.
yeah. And one's for 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. I'm currently doing the six-figure trading account challenge. It's basically 2 rounds, and you have to the first round you have to grow the account to 10%, which 10% of 100,000 is 110,000. Then the second round you have to grow the account to 5%, which you have to grow it to 105,000. And then the first round they give you 1 month to grow it, and then the second round they give you 2 months to grow, 2 to 3 months to grow, around there.
Hmm.
And you'll have to pay like around $600 to $700. I know that's for the six-figure trading account. I'm not sure how much you have to pay for like the $10,000 one, but it's less, right? So yeah, I'm currently doing the second round of the challenge. I passed the first round with your techniques and your teachings, and
Nice.
now I'm really
So
looking
why do
for
you think they
yeah.
do it that? Why do they do it where you have to have 10% in the first month and then 5% in the next 2 months? I feel like it would be the opposite. Do you have any idea why they would do it that way?
I would say I would say so they can see if the traders can handle the pressure and work well with proper risk management and not over
That's
leverage
true.
their account. That's what I
Yeah.
would think.
Yeah, I think the issue. So I've seen a lot of guys in our group go through FTMO, and I push them to people like you, like Alex, that are actually finding success with it. The problem is that I think a lot of people will try FTMO, they'll fail, and then they'll call it a scam. They'll be like, "Oh, it's a scam." It's like, listen, you're not even
Yeah,
probably trading. You're just clicking buttons. You're not trying to apply a
yeah.
system. But you're proving, Alex is proving. We have multiple people now that are proving that if you approach that with a
Jace.
Jace, yeah, can't forget Jace. If you approach that with a system, you can pull that 10% out in the first month. So now are you in the next 2 months trying to pull 5% out in the next 2 months? Is that the goal?
Yes, that's the goal. And once I get that funded trading account, it's going to be way more easier for me
How do
because I
they
don't
split
have
the
that time limit.
profits?
Huh?
How do they split the
Oh,
profits?
I'm correct. You keep 70% and they keep 30% of whatever you withdraw.
After that account. So once you pass the two
Yeah,
challenges, they give you 100 grand of their money and you
yeah.
split 70/30. Is that the way it works?
But you have to grow it. You have to grow. Like for example, let's just say you grow it to 10,000, then you keep 70% of that. You withdraw 10,000, you keep 70% of that, and they keep 30% of that. I think those are the
Wow.
percentages, if I'm not mistaken, which
So
is
what's
really
the
good,
downside here? Yeah, it's great. What's the downside? Like, what's the risk here? Just the initial investment?
Yeah, the risk here is not really anything. That's what like. It's crazy.
It doesn't seem like it.
The risk here
And I'm
is
not trying to
just
give them an endorsement or
yeah,
anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, this isn't
yeah,
sponsored by FTMO or anything like that. I'm genuinely interested because
yeah.
I haven't tried it, but I know a lot of people that have. And I only know a couple of you guys that are actually making money from them. You know, like Alex has said he made some money. I know another guy, Kamoy, he said he made some money from them. He said he made some money from them as well. So like, I know a couple of people that are able to make it work, but I'm getting more and more interested as I hear more and more people are actually seeing something happen there. It's not just like they're taking your money and running away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like the only risk you're looking at is 700, around 600, $700 for the six-figure account, which is really
So
nothing if you think about it. Like,
no, I mean, because if you can actually pass both challenges and you can move into the funded account, you're going to make that money back in a second with $100,000 account.
yeah,
And I guess this is a
yeah,
great spot for some people that are not as fortunate that don't have a shit ton of money to start trading with. You know what I mean? It's a great possibility if it does work to get in and actually have some bread to trade with because you know at this point with realistic risk, you can't make a lot of money trading with less than I want to say 50 grand to be reasonable, but really you need six figures in the account if you want to make
yeah,
any type of
yeah,
serious cash. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's when it starts to kind of turn on. And again, if you're applying risk, you're not going to lose all that money overnight either. So it's actually like a
yeah,
long-term type of like investment vehicle. It's a trading vehicle that you can kind of continue to live off of. So I'll be interested to see how it plays out for you. And anybody watching the video here on YouTube, if you've worked with FTMO or have any experience, drop a comment down below, let us know. And maybe Brandon, what we'll do is when you pass the next round, we'll come on and we'll do another video and we can like maybe keep everybody updated on how the challenge is going for you. Has working with them and maybe trading other people's money, has that felt different than trading your own money? I've never traded anyone else's money.
It's actually, it has actually made me more consistent.
Really?
To the fact that it's like yeah, like I'm thinking about them, not me. So it's like it's their money. So it's like okay, I have to take the proper risk management and I have to follow my setups, the A, B, and C setups, you know, the way and risk like 1% per like for the 100,000, right? Like 1 to 3% only. That's it, max. That's a max risk. Because if I go below 10,000, the account's gone already. You know, that's theirs.
Right. And then what do they make you do then at that point? Restart the challenge?
Now at that point, well, they pretty much take the account away from you. And if you wanna come back again, well, you pay the $600-$700 again and take it again.
I got it.
I would say it's a really smart business for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the way.
I would say it's a really smart business, you know.
Do you know anybody else outside of our group that has found success with them?
No.
Okay.
The only person is Jace, pretty much. Yeah.
You're leading the charge, bro. You, Jace, Alex, you guys are leading the charge for this. It could be, hey, if it works with you guys and continues, I'm going to reach out to them and maybe there's some type of deal we can work out with them where, because we're going to be sending so many people to them. You know what I mean? So I definitely am interested in it. With that being said, do they have any restrictions on the way that you trade? Do they ever try to like force you to trade a certain way or not let you trade a certain pair or anything like that?
Yeah. No, you can't risk more than $5,000 in a day, and overall in the whole month you can't lose 10,000. So if you go over $5,000 a day, that's already a streak and you're out.
Got it. Makes sense. With everything that you've been doing as far as like growing into the technical side of your trading, have you also been balancing that with like psychological stuff, like trading books, trading podcasts, anything in particular that you would recommend?
Yes, I've been listening to a lot of like motivational videos like Gary Vee, a lot of entrepreneur stuff, and like my favorite athletes and stuff like that. And like I've actually created a schedule for me that starts at 4 a.m. and ends at 11 p.m. throughout the whole day. Just watching you do it, like it's made me do it, and it's made me more consistent. You know, and like every day, it's like I'm excited to wake up, and like I'm obsessed. Like I know where I'm going in the future. I know what I want, and I know I'm going to accomplish it. You know, and the only way you'll accomplish it is by having a schedule. You know, and being positive. You can't have any negativity in your mind. Yeah, because your mind's like a magnet. If you think negative, you'll attract negativity. If you think 100%. Positive, you'll attract positivity. So you have to be reading all these positive books, listening to positive podcasts and stuff like that.
What's your family think of everything that you're doing? Do they support you? Or are you trying to kind of drown them out with this positive content?
Well, I'm actually really grateful for my parents. I mean, they doubt me, but they let me do what I want. You know, I told them like, if you have to kick me out of the house, go for it. But I know this is for me, and I will not quit. Like I know it's for me, and I know I'm going to accomplish it, and I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do, and I'm not going to go to a job that I don't want to work in. You know.
Dude, that was me, bro. And like, it's crazy to hear you say that because I can relate to that so much. So now what I want to do and what I always try to make sure I'm doing for the group, I want you to always come to me. If I can ever do more for you as not a leader or not your boss, but just someone that trades with you, someone that works with you side by side, never hesitate to come to me because I can feel your passion and your energy. I can relate to it because that's how I was when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I was just hungry, bro, hungry. And now I'm fortunate enough to be able to turn around and feed you guys a little bit. So anything that I can do, never hesitate to give me criticism, never hesitate to give me feedback because I want to do what I can to make sure that you, Jace, Ryan, Alex, everybody in our group, but especially the people that are serious. Like I want to make sure that you're feeling like you're growing because I think if you remember, like I've probably said this to you before, I think that you can only be as good as the people that you surround yourself with. And if we all have these big dreams and big goals with our trading individually, if we can come together as a collective, they're only going to motivate us to either dream bigger and think bigger, or at least reach that level of big that we had previously thought of. You know what I'm saying? So as a group, and even
Yeah.
that's the logo, bro. I mean, you see it, it's all over everywhere, right? That's
Yeah.
together, we're going to always go further together. So I think as we go forward, just don't hesitate to reach out to me and don't hesitate to give me feedback, please. But I wanted to ask you another question specifically about the trading, um, the mental aspect of your trading with the Gary V stuff, because Gary V was such a big motivator for me, bro. Like back in 2015, like that
Yeah.
was the motivate. Like, yeah, bro. Like he really got me into making videos, got me into the whole thing. With all of that, do you find it easy to sometimes go to Gary V or Grant Cardone or even a rapper or a sports player and try to pull lessons from other things and bring them into your trading? Do you ever think about it like that?
Yes, yes, I do. Every day, man. Every day, I have to listen to some type of positivity. Like it keeps me disciplined. It keeps me waking up. It keeps me visualizing the long-term focus. Uh, you're not supposed to focus on a day. I say you're supposed to focus on the long term. Let's just say you had a bad month, like, and so a lot of people, unfortunately, they like to give up. But what they don't realize is that sometime in the future, if you don't give up, everything you lost in a year and a day, you can make it back in a day and way more in the markets. Then they don't realize that they give up and that's it for them. They go back to the rat race, the 9 to 5. They go do what their parents told them to do. And that's
Yep.
not me. I listen to all
Hell
this
no.
positivity every day. I read, yeah,
Yeah. Keep going.
yeah, and I read all these like positive books all the time. I have like, as a trader, like, I would say it shouldn't be stressful. You should have proper risk management, and back then I didn't have that. So once I found you, like, it actually made me more humble because you talked in terms of percentages and not money. And before I would be flexing and stuff on the Instagram, which was nothing, right? And you've actually made me
Bro,
more
been there.
humble and like, yeah, yeah. And like, it's crazy. It's crazy that you don't do that, because you're over here making all this money, and like, it's like, I would say it's hard to hold yourself back from doing that.
Bro, so it's weird because like you're 100% right, cuz and like this is the part of me that guys in our group seem to understand more than anybody else. There's always this part of you, and that is your ego that wants to flex, that wants to show off. You know what I mean? And now that Riley and I are fortunate to be in the position that we're in, it is sometimes difficult for a second to not stay consistent to what's gotten us here. But the thing is like that consistency and that ego, I'm good enough, I guess, with myself that I don't let it come out. I can still keep it inside. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I think the showing the money thing it's a privacy thing. Like we just
Yeah,
moved down to Florida, right? And now that I am getting a little bit more attention on the internet, I do get a little nervous sometimes, bro. Like I'll be very open about it. I'm like, I don't really want people to know, other than like people that I know, like you. I would tell you where I live, but I wouldn't say it out here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
yeah,
say it out loud because you have to got to be aware of everything right now. So like keeping my money to myself is much better, especially like you said, the success will speak for itself. So if I can then not only do that for myself, but lead other people to think that way too and get out of that flex, you don't have to flex for anybody, bro. When you put that shit
yeah,
out, you're only showing, in my opinion, people are only showing their own insecurities. What they think that they now have that
yeah,
they lacked, they want to show it off. But no one really cares about that because it really just makes you look like you're bragging, and no one likes people like that. Like no one wants to be that
yeah,
person's friend. You know what I mean? It's much better to just try to help people and give back. So it's like it's a weird, especially with right now, bro, with this COVID thing. It's been weird because it's been so good for our business. Like so many people want to learn how to trade
yeah,
now more than ever. It seems like, you know what I mean? Because they have to make money from home.
yeah,
It's been this weird, but at the same time, it's fortunate for us. But look at how many people are negatively impacted by this whole situation. You know what I mean? So it's very weird. So you have to always be humble and be grateful. That's where it comes back to. Like, and I really think that I am. So,
yeah.
um, dude, I'm glad that we got to have this conversation. My last question for you that I wanted to make sure we touched on: what is your main goal with trading? Like, what is this for you? Do you want to be an 8-figure trader, or do you want to use trading to do something else?
No, I'm very passionate about trading. Obviously, this is a vehicle for me also to invest into other assets, maybe like some real estate. And I think
Hmm.
forex trading is barely starting, like it's very new. So
I
I
agree.
feel that forex trading is going to get real big in the AI automation side of things. So I'm really optimistic about the future, and I want to be one of the first people on that automation wave and literally make money in my sleep. And I feel like it has a lot of room to grow in, and like I want to be on top of that wave, you know, and like I want to invest into multiple assets. I definitely see myself maybe owning a franchise in the future, owning
What kind
multiple
of franchise?
real estate.
Come on, be
I don't know, I was
specific.
thinking like a fast food restaurant, like a Chick-fil-A. Have you seen the lines that they have? So I was
Bro, I
thinking, I was like,
know.
I
Bro,
always
I
ask
wait
myself,
in those lines.
yeah, and I always ask myself, "Ah, I wonder how much money they're bringing in, you know?" And like I was
Cake, bro.
like
It's cash,
yeah, like
bro.
I would
They're
like to own multiple franchises.
dude, and it's interesting. Would you automate, since you're talking about automating your trading, would you try to automate everything in the fast food restaurant too? Like you don't need employees. You need one guy that can fix the computers and then that's it.
Yes, that's where everything's going, man. That's where everything's going. I
Everything.
think the future is in AI automation, man.
Absolutely. Are you doing anything with stocks? Are you trying to get into stocks at all or options? Or are you just trying to stay mainly Forex?
Well, I actually I was watching the YouTube video with your buddy MJ, and like that really motivated me, and like
Bro, he's a killer,
I
right? He's a
might,
smart dude.
yeah, dude, yeah, this is crazy. I was like, where do you get this information from? I actually texted him. I told him I'm going to be part of his group sometime in the future. I
It's a good
definitely want to
group.
get into this in the future, but for now, my main focus is trading. I don't want to
Good.
trading in the currency markets. I don't want to be focused on two things and not be good at one. I want to be focused on one
I think
thing and
that's
be very
smart.
good at it. Yeah,
Yep.
and I
You
want to
want to
keep sharpening
master.
my craft. Yeah, I want to master my craft, keep sharpening my knife, you know?
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. What about like, and dude, even for me, I'm just now dipping my toes into some stocks with some free money that I got. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to pay rent with. It's home run money. So if I'm wrong, I can be way wrong. It's not where but I think that it's smart, like, especially at your age, because that's where I was, bro. I was like, all right, I'm going to master Forex, get it down to the point where I can make some money with it and then diversify. And now I've got some money in crypto. You see, I've been buying the actual metal, right? Like I've got these little gold and silver things right here. I keep these on the desk now. Dude, this is
Yeah,
5 grams of silver and this is 1 gram of gold. That's how malleable it is. It's cool. But anyway, diversifying, and I think that that comes later as you progress. But mastering the, how to trade forex, you could call it margin trading, right? You could whatever you want to call it. That speculative instrument that is going to generate the income that I think you need to then take it elsewhere. You don't want to split the eggs up too quickly. Let them sit in the basket and protect the basket right now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Cool. Dude, this is good. I'm really appreciative of you and your time and that we were able to get this done for everybody on YouTube. I think that they're definitely going to be motivated, definitely going to find some value in it. If everybody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way? Instagram?
Yeah, you can text me to Instagram.
Cool.
It's BPUENTE underscore B Puente
Perfect.
underscore.
I'm
That's
going
my
to put that
Instagram. You can
link in the description too.
yeah, you can follow me, send me a message, man. I'm very humble. I like to help people out as much as I can, and just DM me. Like I'd be more than happy to help you. And if you want to take the FTMO challenge, shoot me a DM, and I'll help you like with the risk management side of stuff.
And then soon we're going to get you on the coach's website, bro. We got to get you working with like Jace and stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm very excited to I want to be one of the youngest in your group leading the wolf pack, man. I'm very
Are
excited
you
for that. I'm
younger
very
than Jace?
optimistic for the future. No, me and Jace are actually the same age. I actually turned 19 this July 20th, so in a couple days.
Nice, bro. Well, happy early birthday. And dude, I think that
Yeah,
if you stay on the path that you have found, I think that there's more success in your future than you can even understand. You're young, you're hungry, don't lose
yeah,
that. That's it. Stay motivated, bro. And I think
yeah,
it's going
man.
to pay off for
Yeah,
you.
definitely, man.
Cool. Well, listen,
Yeah,
everybody,
definitely, man.
thank you for
Yeah,
the time. We appreciate you being here, Brandon. I'm going to make sure we put the Instagram link for you down in the description so everybody can go follow you there. And drop a comment. Let us know if you guys have any other questions for Brandon. Hit him up if you want to talk about FTMO, and then maybe we'll do a round two after you pass that the second part of the challenge, brother.
awesome. Thank you, Austin. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, man.